Hello, everybody. Leave a comment to let us know if you can hear both of us. Joyce and I will be going through A24's official bracket to decide our favorite A24 movie. At the end, we will make sure to mention notable bracket omissions that could potentially dethrone the winner. ... I'm Sam Red. This is Red Carpet Talk. Let's get into it. Okay, we have a bracket, Joyce. Let's start. I'm gonna look at comments along the way, in case people can let us know if they hear us or not. Um, so there's four sections. There's deep horror, high anxiety, emotional drama, big feelings on this bracket. We're gonna start off with deep horror. Talk to me, and this is round one. Talk to me versus The Witch. Do you want to start, or do you want me to start talking?
Um, I can start, but I can also say that I've seen The Witch and I haven't yet seen Talk to Me.
Ooh, okay.
So I might be a little biased here to say like The Witch wins for me. But I do think The Witch it's so iconic and like we've had a lot of movies come out in a similar vein to that movie and it really I don't know what's wrong with me right now that I'm literally blanking on the director's name.
Roger Eggers.
Egger, yeah, like I mean, it started like this whole font of genre, and he's had so many amazing movies like since this, but this is the one that kind of launched him. So like, The Witch is definitely significant to me.
I think I think you're right about it being iconic because I remember not even watching the movie and hearing how buzzy like this movie was and people talking about the witch at the time and the
Yeah.
way like Black Phillip is a very interesting character because he's
Mm.
technically like the overarching like villainous thing that like everyone is scared of. And then once you see the movie and you realize, oh, what Black Phillip is, you're like, oh, that's interesting. That's not what I would expect. This is the beginning of Anya Taylor Joy as well. Like she made
Yeah.
years after this, so it's like when you're talking about influence, it's hard to not give this movie credit. But then Talk to Me is like the beginning of the Filippo brothers, who I love, and that was like a movie that just like caught a ton of people off guard. And I'm biased with that one because I've seen the Filippo bros in person when Bring Her Back came out. They did a Q&A, and they're this the chillest dudes, the Raka Raka brothers. I don't know if you
Yeah.
watch them on YouTube. They're hilarious, but they make the most disturbing movies. And it's
Yeah.
like I think I give the slight edge. I mean, comments can let us know and settle. Since I think Joyce is leaning towards The Witch, I'm leaning towards Talk to Me, so we can make the comments be the tiebreaker. But Talk to Me is that kind of movie where it's just so smart. Like, it is a party game, The Hand, but it's also commenting on grief in a very clever way. And it just messes with your mind, that whole movie. So this is a hard to start with because it's like two big directors, but I do think The Witch is more influential in like A24's overall filmography, more so than Talk to Me is. But like both of them are like great. And it's like two hard movies to pit against. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna give like people a second to see if there's a commenter who's like, I want Talk to Me the winner. I want The Witch to win. But if there isn't one, I'm gonna just we're gonna figure out. I guess the tiebreaker will just be Letterbox. Which one has the higher Letterbox score? Um,
Seems fair to me.
so Talk to Me on Letterbox is 3.5. The Witch on Letterbox is, let's see, 3.8. Okay. So comments didn't say Witch or Talk to Me, so I think I'm just gonna. You know what? I'm okay with the Witch beating Talk to Me for this first round because the Witch is the more influential of the two. So I'm cool with the Witch, and I like Anya Taylor Joy in that movie a lot.
Mm.
So I'll give this movie credit. So the next matchup on the list is not the Lighthouse versus Heretic. Um,
Do you want to alternate like starting like I started
yeah,
last one, you
sure.
start this one?
Yeah, we can do that. So the Lighthouse is Robert Eggers once again. Robert Pattinson, Willem Dafoe. I actually have not finished this movie since I was watching with someone who was just like not into it. So I never got to finish it. That's a theme for a couple of these. Of since a lot of A24 movies are weird. But also it was just it's I don't know if I like any of his movies as much as I like The Witch. I think that might be my favorite. I think it's between that and Nosferatu. If you're talking The Lighthouse. But so right now we're talking The Lighthouse versus Heretic. Heretic, actually, sorry, I'm saying the wrong name. Heretic is Hugh Grant, Sophie Thatcher, Chloe East, I believe is the name of the other actress. She is very underrated in the movie. Everyone gives Hugh Grant and Sophie Thatcher the most credit for their performances. Chloe East, she's also in The Fabelmans. She's really good at playing like a religious, like a dedicated religious girl in both movies in different ways. I would say Fabelmans is more comedic, and she's kind of a villain in that. And in Heretic, she's more the victim. And I'm a Sophie Thatcher fan. I like Hugh Grant as well. He's more villainous here. This is a tough one for me. I don't know. Where are you on this?
I I haven't seen Heretic yet.
Okay.
It's funny, like with the I have seen The Lighthouse, and it's funny when you said you didn't finish the movie because I did, and I could not tell you how that movie ended. I don't remember what the ending of the movie is. I just remember like not the movie is designed so that you do not know what's going on most of the time, and I respected it for that. And I respected the aesthetic of like the bars and the old color grade that they did and how it really feels like you're watching some like old found footage and you don't know like who's the crazy one here, like you don't know like what reality is true, and it's really interesting. I really liked The Lighthouse. um I don't think it's as influential as like his other movies.
Agree.
People don't really discuss this one a lot, which for the color grade and for the black and white aesthetic that they did, you'd think they would talk about it more, but they really don't.
Yeah.
Like I don't hear people still talking about it. Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe are great in it. Willem Dafoe is always Willem Dafoe though. It wasn't like his defining like performance or something. Um,
I think it.
Robert Pattinson
Yeah.
is really good in it. He's really like he's kind of creepy, but he really makes you feel like you're watching someone who's been like at sea for a really long time and just doesn't know what's going on. Like you really get that vibe from him. So he's
For
really
sure.
good in it. I really liked it. I haven't seen Heretic yet, so I can't really compare.
It's so
But I
funny.
remember,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's so funny you were talking about the ending, not really remembering the lighthouse ending, since Heretic is kind of the same way, where people love the movie up until the ending, and then
oh,
people are kind of like, what's the deal with the ending there? So maybe that's why they're both put up against each other.
mm,
And it's more the performances in that first two-thirds of the movie that people really love, and the witty back and forth and like the commentary on religion is really clever in that
mm.
first half of the movie. And the back and forth is just brilliantly performed with all three actors. Um, I don't know. Does the Lighthouse have that same back and forth as much? I'm
The
like, they're
White
just
House,
kind of waiting around.
they really are. Like, there's not a lot of dialogue. There's some tale telling, and then there's just some really weird montages. And that's the movie. So I think probably Heretic has a much better script. And that goes to show. And that's, I think, more relevant to current discourse. The Lighthouse, like, my impression of it was I'm trying to remember if this was just something I thought. I think there was visual evidence in the film, but like they allude to sirens off the
Yep.
coast of the island. So the movie's about like these unseen women just like tormenting these men, which like I don't know how like culturally relevant that really is. It sounds like Heretic is more culturally relevant. Um yeah, like I want to see it, but like even though I haven't seen it, I'm kind of tempted to be like, this movie
Yeah.
probably beats The
I think
Lighthouse, you
for
know?
Heretic, I'm cool with letting it move on and beat the Lighthouse because we had the Witch move on in the previous matchup.
Yeah.
So then in this case, our next matchup is Midsummer versus Lamb. Lamb is one of those I hear people say is a really weird movie. I haven't seen it myself, so I'm just biased in choosing Midsummer. I don't feel like people talk about Lamb the way they do Midsummer and Ari Aster. Ari Aster is just so unsettling. Um, he makes daylight unsettling, which is super impressive.
Mm.
So I think I might have to give that the edge.
No, I'm totally in agreement with you on that. Like that movie is so iconic and the ending is
Yes.
like so like I've never watched a movie where the last shot changed my entire opinion of what was going on
Oh,
because
interesting.
you really like at least when I was watching it and I was kind of watching it like this, like what was going on, but like I really didn't know what she was thinking, what Florence Pugh was thinking the whole time. Like I really there were not a lot of clues as to what her attitude toward these events was going to be until literally the final shot of the movie. And I
Yeah.
thought it was so amazing that like he as a director could do that and also Florence Pugh as an actress could do that. It's just
You're right though.
it's like in my top moments.
It might be Florence Pugh's best performance, and then the guy who plays opposite her is from Sing Street. I can't remember
Mm,
his name. It's not Jack Connell. It's the other Jack.
mm,
Jack something else. Jack Rayner, and he is really good in the movie. Will Poulter is also in it.
mm,
I forget Will Poulter's part as much, but I was talking about it with someone recently who was like, he's kind of the comedic relief in the movie. I'm with you on this is another really iconic, influential A24 movie.
yeah.
If you're talking A24 in like her flower dress at the end of the movie, a lot of people in like her facial expression, a lot of people think of Midsommar, and for better or for worse, people either love it or they hate it. And the people who get it are like, oh, this is super interesting and intriguing. And the people who don't get it are like, this is just slow and boring. And I will say, Jack Rayner is really good in it, but this might be Florence Pugh's best performance ever. In regards to the flower dress, I remember there was like a huge auction for it, and people were
Yeah.
spending like a ton of money just to buy that dress. I feel like we have to choose this one. It's just
Oh
the
yeah.
more influential of the two movies, for sure. So Midsommar is progressing. So far we have we have The Witch, Heretic, Midsommar is progressing. Our last matchup in the deep horror category is Hereditary versus Pearl. Hereditary is another Ari Aster movie. We just talked about Midsommar. This is kind of the beginning of Ari Aster working with A24. He also did Beau's Afraid. I really love this movie. Toni Collette is amazing in this movie. A lot of people at the time were saying an Oscar for Toni since she's never won, and thought she should have been nominated. And to this very day, you still people saying her and like that she should have been nominated. I always I like oh my god, I forgot which Wolf brother. Since there's Alex Wolf and Nat Wolf from the Naked Brothers band, I think it's Alex Wolf that is in the movie. And Alex Wolf, there's this great scene with the desk, and he's just so creeped out by like everything going on. I like the way they set up what's going on with the sister, and then you're just thrown very off guard in the movie without spoiling it for those who haven't seen it. And I remember watching Hereditary and loving it so much that the next day I was like, I have to rewatch it again. I was like, that's how much I like this movie. Um, Pearl, oh my god, this is so hard because if I love the X trilogy, I do think the last movie, Maxine, is the weakest of the trilogy, but X and Pearl are so strong. And Pearl is my favorite of the trilogy, and Mia Goth, so she's one of my favorite actresses right now. She just, oh my god, that performance. That's another one where similar to Florence Pugh at the end of the movie, the last like shot of the movie with Mia Goth is amazing. Her acting is just, and I love that it's basically a horror version of Wizard of Oz, except it's Dorothy becoming the Wicked Witch is basically what Pearl is, and it's
Mm.
amazing. And it's like an ode to like 1930s cinema, and it's just brilliant. So it's like choosing like, oh my god, like two of the best horror movies of all time, like for different reasons. So it's like Hereditary is probably the more influential of the two, but like, oh boy, I'm like, this is like, oh my god, I'm like, I think I gave them both like around the same score on Letterboxd. So, you know what? Actually, no. I think I might have gave Pearl a slightly higher score on Letterboxd. So, oh god, even though I love Hereditary, I might go with Pearl actually.
This is
Yeah.
so hard.
The thing with Pearl also that I forgot to say is you don't see female villains in the slasher genre often. Pam Voorhees is probably the most famous, in Friday the 13th, and Pearl instantly became an iconic female horror villain with the X trilogy. So I think that's another reason I think I'm gonna. So actually, it is more influential the more I think about it in that sense. So yeah,
I think this might be like I'm not trying to look ahead too much, but like I think this might be one of the hardest matchups on the list. Like I'm guessing we're gonna look back and be like that one was really hard. Like Hereditary, I've only seen in chunks just because I'm spineless. Um, but it's so iconic. Like it's such a part of the zeitgeist. Hereditary, like it's creeped so many people out. It's meant so like people talk about it incessantly. Like this movie really appealed to a lot of people. And yet I think that Pearl is more significant long term because like women are highly underrepresented in the slasher genre. Like we're usually running right in the slasher genre, but in this like Pearl, it means something that continues to be important, whereas Hereditary kind of doesn't. Like Pearl, what Pearl means is like she's like trapped in this role, and it's
yeah.
like what her response to that is, and it says so much culturally. And like I love the X trilogy. Like I love X. Maxine is definitely the weakest. I love X though. I've
Do
always
you like
thought
X or
like
Pearl more?
I don't know. I think that Pearl has more significance, but I enjoyed X, but there were parts of X where I was like, what was going on 5 scenes ago is working better than what's going on right now. So I felt like X had like for me, there were parts that were so funny and that I was really enjoying, and then we just never revisited them again. Like when the filmmaker, her boyfriend, when he's in the barn, like that scene was just like I was laughing really hard. And then nothing like that happened again until the end of the movie, like when Jenna Ortega goes out. I've always thought like if I was in a horror scenario, that's how I would go out, like how she goes out in that movie. Like that's exactly like I would be this close to making it out and then get taken out in the most hilarious way possible. That's how like I'd be fine going out that way. So like I love X, but I think Pearl has more to offer like culturally.
Yeah.
So I think even though Hereditary has been such a big deal, I think that Pearl has more to offer long term. And like anybody who has a problem with that, this is our podcast. We can do whatever we want. So like I think Pearl advancing, I'm totally on board with that.
Yeah. So far for round one in Deep Horror, The Witch is advancing, Heretic is advancing, Midsommar is advancing, and Pearl is advancing. So we're gonna move on to high anxiety now. We got
Okay.
Red Rocket versus Climax. This is so easy for me. Sean Baker is my favorite director. I think Red Rocket is a very underrated movie. I watched it during the pandemic when most people didn't. I love this was such a good comeback for oh my god, Simon Rex I think is the actor's name. Since he wasn't known for being like a serious actor, I think he did like Scary Movie and like he and like that's the beauty of like Sean Baker and just A24 in general is it just gets like unconventional people and then gives them the chance to give like really solid performances. I love this movie. I love Sean Baker in general, so this is very easy. Climax, I don't even really know. Like, no one talks about Climax. So
I
I'm like
literally
confused why
think
it's even
this
on
is
here. But
like I think this is the
A24
first time
chose
I've
it.
heard of Climax. I've
Yeah.
never heard of Climax before, so I'm totally on board with that.
Yeah, so Red Rocket advances. Then we have Uncut Gems versus Baby Girl. Um, okay. Do you want to start or should I?
Yeah, no, I know this was like Baby Girl was a big deal at the time. I didn't I don't know. I think I went in with really high expectations and I thought it was going to really grab me and be like, yes, like I really resonate with this. I did not. I just didn't like it didn't affect me at all. It
Yeah.
felt like more of a marketing campaign. Like it was marketed as like here's this woman like taking her power back, and then I watched the movie and I was like that's not what I saw in this movie. So like I kind of felt lied to. I was like, why were you throwing pink at me for 6 months and getting me all like hyped up for like this feminist journey? Like that's not what I personally got from the movie. So like I kind of felt lied to a little bit. I have strong feelings about it apparently. I've never said that out loud, but I was just kind of like, I don't I don't get this. I didn't like the guy. I was like, okay, I'm all for you like
Oh.
exploring, but like I don't like anything that's going on right now. Like
Okay.
I don't like any of it. It didn't feel safe to me. Like I feel like a woman like exploring and it shouldn't feel unsafe. It shouldn't feel seedy. It shouldn't be like okay, no, like you're doing this for someone else, but like should you be? Like I didn't like it. It's just for me personally.
That's
It's
so
and maybe I
funny.
need to like watch it again and be more like open minded. I really think it was just the marketing told me personally one thing, and then I watched the movie and I experienced something totally different. So that could just be a me thing, and maybe I need to watch it again, which I'm totally open to different takes on this. Um, that's my opinion on Baby Girl. Uncut Gems is one of my top New York movies because the pace is so relentless and like that's what New York feels like to me. So I love Uncut Gems. Um because it's like Uncut Gems is also a really like crappy protagonist, really bad circumstances, and like it knows that about itself, and you get the right ending out of that. So like I love Uncut Gems. So like my vote is Uncut Gems, but I'm also totally open to different perceptions of Baby Girl and maybe or baby is it Baby Doll? Baby Girl.
Baby Girl.
And like have like a good conversation about that. Like maybe I just need to watch it again. That could
I
totally be the
think
case.
so. My opinion is, I think with a lot of A24 movies, I feel like people think one thing based on the marketing, especially people who don't watch like indie films often. You hear this complaint, especially with like Hereditary, of people thinking it was going to be one type of horror movie and then it ended up being another. Something I forgot to mention with Hereditary earlier is it kind of coined the term elevated horror, that and Get Out, which
Mm,
is another
yeah.
example of how it's influential. But with Baby Girl, it's so funny. I kind of have the opposite problem with you. I think it was too safe. I felt like it
Interesting.
was
Okay.
not like it was trying to do this like interesting exploration of like a woman exploring her sexuality. It just was not interesting to me. I'm also with you of I
Okay.
was more hyped than the actual product of the film. And I don't hate Nicole Kidman. I like her in a lot of her performances. Harris Dickinson, I really love for because of movies like Triangle of Sadness. I liked him in here. I don't know if I loved him in here, but I remember not hating him as much. But like there's just some weird scenes, like them singing like George Michael, like father figure and stuff. Like people I knew who liked that scene, I was just like, this is just no. I was like, I'm not,
This
I'm
is
not,
no.
I'm not really digging any of this. And the one thing I'll say about the movie is I love like the music. The score is the guy who did the White Lotus score,
Oh, yeah.
Cristobal, whatever, I forgot his last name. and he is also slated to do the Club Kid score later this year, which has me really excited. So
Yeah.
I know we're gonna get a really good score. Since I really like the Baby Girl, there was like a lot of heavy breathing. Like I know that sounds weird, but like when you listen to it, it was like it was kind of similar to White Lotus in some ways. Like if you listen to
Mhm.
it, you'll know what I mean. And then there was one song in the club that I was just playing nonstop. There's like a club rave scene, and I was just called Crush. The song is, and I was just like, that is an awesome song. I wish the whole movie was as good as that scene. I remember saying that at the time. I'm like, if this whole movie was this scene, I would have gave this such a higher score. I'm in the minority of people who I don't like Uncut Gems as much as everyone else does. I kind
Mm,
of like put, I think both Baby Girl and Uncut Gems are decent movies, but they don't click with me as much as
mm.
like I wish they did. Adam Sandler is obviously good in Uncut Gems, and there's a lot going on. Um, they're kind of equal for me. So if you prefer
Mm.
Uncut Gems, I'm cool with giving that the edge going
Okay,
forward.
yeah, no, like I can side with your opinion that like Baby Girl was too safe. If they were gonna do a thing, just do that thing. Don't do like half of that thing. I think they either could have gone even more down that direction, or they could have made it another thing. It was like a weird middle of the road thing. So like I agree with that, and I'm definitely like all in Uncut Gems in this little competition block. So if you're good with Uncut Gems advancing, that'd be good.
Yeah,
I just yeah.
it's more influential of the two. Safdie
Mm,
brothers as a whole, and just people talk about it. A lot of people talk about how Uncut Gems gives them so much anxiety. That's why it's in the high anxiety part of the bracket.
mm.
I'm in the weird minority of people of. I think it just shows you how just constant fight or flight mode I am all the time. This movie did not make me anxious at all, which
You're
is
just like, this is
crazy.
a Tuesday. Like this is not anxious.
The
That's
Bear was the
funny.
same, where people are like, "Oh, that's a very anxiety-inducing show," and I'm like, "I don't feel anything right now," and I'm like, "Okay, okay," I'm like, that's not good. But yeah, so I'm cool with Uncut Gems progressing though, regardless. So right now we have Red Rocket progressing, we have Uncut Gems progressing in the high anxiety part of the bracket. We got two more movies we have to figure out if what's progressing in this part of the bracket. So we got
Okay.
an Alex Garland battle right here. Civil War versus Ex Machina.
I
He
have like such opinions about this face off. I'm actually really excited to talk about this Ex Machina versus Civil War.
It's crazy this is a round one matchup. I'm like, this is brutal. I'm like, these are two of my favorites. So this is such a brutal matchup for me. Um,
Yeah.
Alex Garland has a long relationship with A24. He's done Ex Machina, I think was his first movie, and then Civil
Mhm.
War is it's up against. But then two other movies that he did with them is Men and why am I blanking on the other one now? Warfare last year.
Mhm.
So he's done, and then he's planning on doing Elden Ring with them.
Yeah, I'm so excited for Elden Ring.
The
I'm
cast is crazy.
insanely.
There's
It's
people I like in
stacked.
it. Um, I like at the top of my head, I can't recall anyone, but I know there's a Bottoms reunion happening for that.
Mhm.
Ruby Cruz and Havana Rose Lou are both in the Elden Ring, and I think Kit
Mhm.
Connor is in it.
Mhm.
He's not in Bottoms, but he just got cast as Cyclops as X-Men. So Alex Garland has a long relationship. So that's why if he was not on this bracket, it'd be crazy. But
Mhm.
do you want to get into the actual movies now going up against each other, Civil War and Ex Machina, or do you want me to start?
I can start if you want. I feel like Civil War is one of the like my viewing experience and going into it like that had me from start to finish. Like that was one of the best movies I've seen. I feel like it was just amazingly paced, and the end, I love when something shocks me, but I also know this couldn't have ended any other way because of the way the whole thing is constructed. Like I don't want to get too into spoilers for Civil War, but like when it happens, like you know what I'm talking about, like the final thing that Kirsten Dunst does is like of course that is where these two characters end up, and those are the choices that they make, because that's what she needed to make for herself. And then this new like younger version of her, she needed to take that moment and let things end that way. And it was like so outstanding to me, and it was so heartbreaking and
Yeah,
devastating, but like of course it was. It was just amazing. I just thought it was
I
really
know.
realistic, empathetic, and
Great
like
word. Yeah.
it's so scary right now. And it's so
Yeah.
culturally relevant, but it's like everything that people did in that movie, it's like that's what we would do. Or like I saw things, I'd be like, that's how I would react to that. And it was just outstanding. Like it's one of the best movies I've ever seen. Civil War. And then when it comes to Ex Machina, it was so highly influential, and a lot of people acted like they'd never seen anything like that, and they never considered sort of the demands that like these men who are creating like AI, sort of the demands that they put on that technology, mirroring the demands that they're putting on women. But it's like we also have Blade Runner, so it felt a lot like Blade Runner to me. And if I had to choose between Ex Machina and Blade Runner, I would choose Blade Runner, like over and over and over again. So like Ex Machina, it's a good film. It didn't. I guess I also kind of watched it late, so I think it predicted a lot that hadn't entered the public consciousness yet, and it also shaped the way that we respond to technology in a way that is highly influential. Because I watched it a little bit later, like I only watched it for the first time a couple years ago, it didn't really shock me the way that it shocked other people. And I'd also seen Blade Runner like 50 times. So it just
Yeah.
didn't really hit me as hard, not fractionally as hard as Civil War did. So like I think I'm probably the only person who would say this, but like in this block, like I would pick Civil War to advance.
Okay. So, X. I'm gonna say something interesting in a second, actually, and hear me out. So, Ex Machina, when I watched it in theaters, this was like one of A24's first big movies, like before it won Best Picture for Moonlight, and it was very much a game changer, influential for A24 for sure. And I remember being shocked at the time, and the the dynamic between Oscar Isaac, Donald Gleason, and Alicia Vikander is so well acted. Her performance to this day is, in my opinion, the best part of the movie. I remember she was nominated for Danish Girl this year, but a lot of
Mm,
people are like, we all know it's Ex Machina that like we were pretending she was nominated for. Kind of similar to Elle Fanning last year for Sentimental Value or Predator Badlands. People are like, okay, she's nominated for Sentimental Value. Except Sentimental Value is actually a legitimately good performance.
mm,
But Danish Girl and Ex Machina, Alicia Vikander is amazing in this movie. Like,
she's amazing.
her performance, she was one of my favorite actresses and just like a force to be reckoned with. And I kind of don't like that she doesn't act enough these as much these days. I know she was taking care of her kid and stuff, and Michael Fassbender was more the one acting and providing for the family. But I really miss her as an actress, and I really liked her in The Assessment, which she did with Himesh Patel
Mm.
and Elizabeth Olsen recently, and it shows she still has the chops. She's so captivating in this movie. It does you it does a really good job of it does a really do you hear me clearly? I don't sound too far
Yeah,
away right now. It
no,
does
you're
a
good.
really good job it does a really good job of what was I about to say? Telling a story mostly in one location, which is really
Mm,
hard. Whereas Civil War is such a grand scale of like you're traveling across the country and you believe this is actually the United States. It's another movie where the performances are so solid. To this day, I think Kaylee Spaney should have an Oscar nomination already for Civil War and Priscilla. I'm pissed that she doesn't.
mhm.
And she doesn't have an Emmy nom either. Everyone else in the Beef cast got nominated. That's an A24 project technically for Beef season 2. I think Carey Mulligan, Charles Melton, and Oscar Isaac, I think, all got nominated for Emmys, and she didn't. So I think, yeah, that needs to change soon. Like, she needs to get
Mhm.
nominated for, like, an Emmy or an Oscar soon. And her arc in this movie is brilliant. Kristen Dunst's arc is brilliant, without spoiling anything. Wagner Moura haunts me in this movie. There's one scene where he's just, like, screaming. Um, you have other people in the cast, like, Jesse Plemons, and then there's the other guy that I'm blanking on his name. He's in a ton of movies, um, but this movie is just so brilliant, and I think unfortunately it was a victim of the marketing. Everyone's like, oh, this movie doesn't have anything interesting to say politically, and it's safe, and it's this, and it's this, but I'm so with you of it's such a good movie that makes you empathetic to the human experience and what it's like to be an on-the-ground war photographer and reporter. And when you're covering such traumatic events all the time, the toll that that has on you. And I haven't worked in that area, but I have worked in documentary a little bit, and I worked on like a true crime thing, and there was some like things I could relate to with like what they were covering in this movie and the arc that like Kaylee Spaney goes on in this movie. I was just like, it was just so brilliant, and I think it is one of the best war movies, even though it's not like a World War II or a Vietnam movie, or and it is a fictional. It's just so unbelievably brilliant, and I actually surprisingly agree with you. I put both movies are even, and I watched both on IMAX. Um, I didn't watch Ex Machina in IMAX when it initially came out, but I watched it in IMAX years later, somewhat recently.
Mhm.
And Civil War I watched in IMAX, and the sound design was so much, and it was too much, and it was so similar to Warfare. Warfare is another one where Alex Garland really puts a lot of effort into the sound design, and it should just really make you uncomfortable and get under your skin and put you in that fight or flight state that the characters are in. And I just remember being like, whoa. And if you're talking about, since we're in the high anxiety part of the bracket, that movie delivers on that, like, so much. Civil War. And um I like both equally, but I do think Ex Machina didn't hold up as much on rewatch as I thought it was going to, and I kind of am with you. Once you kind of know like where it's going, it kind of is like a less interesting movie. It's still a great movie, but it kind of loses some of its um like what made it interesting at the time. So I do give the edge to Civil War, weirdly enough. I know
Mm,
that was a long rant, but it's just there's so much to say about Alex Garland. He's one of the best directors right now. So
absolutely.
um,
Yeah,
yeah, you and I are shockingly in agreement. I know you probably weren't expecting that.
I was not. I really
I
wasn't.
love
But
this
like,
movie.
it's so like the way that you put like doesn't hold up. That's like the perfect way that I would describe Ex Machina. It just doesn't hold up as well
Yeah, it's
on
influential,
rewatch.
but it doesn't hold up in the way other Alex Garland movies do. Like when you watch like he's it's not A24, but like when you watch like the 28 Days Later franchise, it's like, oh my god, those movies are from the 2000s. Like that first movie's from the 2000s, and he wrote the screenplay for it, and it still holds up. It's still brilliant. I don't think Ex Machina is gonna hold up in the way that that kind of movie does. So, and it's not as
Yeah.
original as people think it is. So I am with you. I think Civil War pushes the needle more, even though it is less influential. It's just brilliant filmmaking.
Yeah.
Um, so we can move on to the last. So far we have Red Rocket, Uncut Gems, Civil War, and the high anxiety part of the bracket. We can move on to Good Time and Spring Breakers. I started Spring Breakers. I don't know if I ever finished it. And then Good Time, I don't think I've ever seen. So I
I
really,
haven't even heard of either one of these.
really, Good Time is the
No.
guy who is the same guy who did Uncut Gems. I mean,
Really? What is it
it's the
about?
Safdie brothers. It's Robert Pattinson. A lot of people consider his best performance. And then Spring
How have
Breakers
I not
is
heard this?
like a very early A24 film, Harmony Korine, and then it's with Selena Gomez and Ashley Benson and Vanessa Hudgens and James Franco. And yeah.
It's like crazy to me that I haven't heard of either. Like, I'm
You're
sure
off
I've
camera
heard
right
of
now.
them. I know, I'm literally Googling the movie. I'm sure I've heard of them like in passing, but I don't know anything about these two. I hate when it's like a good movie and then marketing. Like, it just doesn't reach you sometimes.
I feel like just to be fair, we should just let Letterboxd decide.
Yeah, I think that's valid. I'm definitely gonna watch them now, but I really love Vanessa Hudgens. I miss Vanessa Hudgens.
I like her a lot. I mean, I can
Yeah.
go on or off topic rant about but in regards to Good Time on Letterbox is rated, let's see, what is it rated? It's 4.0. And then we got Spring Breakers, which I really think is going to be lower. I'm like, I can already anticipate it's going to be lower than a 4. Spring Breakers is a 2.8. I'm like, okay, I mean, I was also going to say, there is a sequel that's technically coming out for Spring Breakers. Bella Thorne is for some reason starring and directing in it. I don't know
Ah,
why. She's really interested in this year. They announced it somewhat recently, but okay. I'm like, good luck with that. Um, I get why, since Selena and Vanessa Hudgens are Disney girls, and um, yeah.
so is Bella Thorne.
This
Once
is
a Disney girl, always a Disney girl.
this is an interesting comment. I didn't know Spring Breakers was A24. I'm a big Harmony Korine fan, but Spring Breakers is pretty low on my list for his filmography. Um,
Mm.
Yeah, I think he did Kids. That's probably the highest on his filmography that people talk about the most. And whereas Robert Pattinson, a lot of people consider Good Time his best performance, so I think it's only fair to let that move on and not Spring Breakers. Um,
I agree with
James
that.
Franco with the dreads, I don't know, but so we're moving on to the right side of the bracket, emotional drama. We got First Reformed with Ethan Hawke. I think Paul Schrader, I don't know if he directed it, but I think he wrote it. The guy who did Taxi Driver with Scorsese. And then The Brutalist, which is Brady Corbet, Adrian Brody, and then there's a ton of other people. There's Felicity Jones and Guy Pearce and other people in the ensemble. Yeah. I know where I land. I'm like, this is easy. Like, this is super easy for me.
For this one, I haven't seen First Reformed.
Yeah, neither have
Um,
I. But I love Ethan Hawke is the thing.
I know he can do anything, and I'm gonna like it. He even did that Tesla movie, and I liked it. I don't know if you saw that. He played Tesla.
I don't know what movie you're talking about. I've never heard of
It's
it.
literally like I think it's called Tesla, and he plays Nikola Tesla. And it's a very odd. We should totally like if you ever watch it, we should have a conversation about it. But he plays Tesla, and he sings "Everybody Wants to Rule the World" in the
Oh,
movie.
interesting.
It's
And
pretty
then
iconic. Um,
Brutal. Yeah, this is easy. Brutalist for me. Brutalist is an all time. I think it's the best movie about the immigrant experience ever. I'll ramble about it more in later rounds when
I
I have.
will 1,000% back you on this. Like, I think a lot of people were really uncomfortable with the Brutalist, and I can totally
Hmm.
understand why.
Exactly.
Because immigration is it's hard. It's hard, and uncomfortable things happen,
Yep.
and it's very painful. And war does really bad things to people, and then people do things after having survived a war that are really uncomfortable for everyone. This is life. Like people who were uncomfortable, I'm like, it's supposed to be. Like, it's supposed to show you what happened after something like that. And I thought this movie was really, really good. I thought it was really good.
It's so brilliantly constructed. I love the
Hmm.
intermission in the middle. The
Hmm.
intermission was so beautiful with the photograph, and I was over analyzing it the whole 15 minutes. And since it's a wedding photograph, but you have all these people that attend the wedding who lived in Europe at the time that you just assumed unfortunately passed away, and it's just thinking about
Yeah.
all these people and like wow, it's so beautiful, but like it's so simple but beautiful, and it made me, and I just thought about it a lot, and this movie is just so brilliantly constructed since I think the first half is set up to make you feel really hopeful, and then you get after, and everyone just was like on such a high and feeling so good about this movie, and then this movie is deconstructing the American dream ultimately, and it shows you how immigrants literally and metaphorically get screwed over in this country in the second half, and it's like it's uncomfortable, but like it's important to in regards to the deconstruction of the American dream. So I'm yeah, it's I know it's a 3 hour movie, and so many people are like, I'm not watching it. It's 3 hours long. Oh, you like that the 3 hour long movie? I'm like, but it's so brilliant. It's so
It's so
brilliantly
good.
written and acted, and we could talk about the performances more in like later rounds. But yeah, easy for me. Easy for me.
Like I think the intermission, like it is really beautiful to hold on that photograph, and like the whole start, like the whole part one, the whole opening scene is one of my top opening scenes of all time. And like
Oh,
I
amazing.
moved to New York City from 3.5 hours away. Like I'm from upstate New York, and I moved here from 3.5 hours away. And I was so emotional being like in the bowels of this ship with him at the start of the film for like a full 3 minutes while he's like clawing his way to the top of the ship,
Just to see the
basically.
Statue of Liberty.
I
And the
was
score
so
is so epic.
emotional. I cried. I've never cried in the first 3 minutes of a movie like that, except maybe Up. Up would be the exception to that. But it was like it was so moving, and then the whole second half just shows you the fallout of what it's actually like to immigrate here. And also, like Felicity Jones
Oh my god,
doesn't
yes.
come into the film until after the intermission,
And yet
and
she's
she
awesome.
steals the film.
You're so right. I forgot she's not even in the first half. That's how
She's
amazing she is. You're so right.
oh, like
Her
when I think of it, I
performance,
just think of her.
her going off with Guy Pearce near
Oh
the
my
second half of the
god.
movie is so brilliant. They're like dynamic, and their performances. There's one scene in particular where you're just like, oh my god! I'm like, this is some of the best cinema ever. Like it's just like brilliant. And Adrian Brody, you believe is a real person, and you feel like you're actually going kind of similar to like Denzel and Malcolm X. You really feel like you're going
Yes.
through multiple years with Adrian Brody, and it's like so many people were nitpicking dumb stuff with like the use of AI and like his accent, which is so trivial since he says most things correct in the movie, and his performance is so good, and so many people were over analyzing them, like tweaking it a tiny bit since there's like maybe one or two words he didn't say correctly, so then the director tweaked it a bit, but it's so brilliant, that performance. Just truly unbelievable stuff, the Brutalist. Easily progressing for me. Is it okay if we move on to the next match now?
Yes,
Otherwise, we're just gonna
absolutely.
keep rambling about the
Yeah.
Brutalist.
No,
um,
I literally think we could spend the rest of the episode just
yeah,
talking
I
about
could
the
be like,
Brutalist.
oh, I also like Joe Alwyn as the awful son and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, like we need to cut it off. We need to
Um,
cut ourselves off.
the Whale versus Iron Claw. I hear the Iron Claw movie is brutal. I have not seen it. I hear it's
I have
brutal though.
I've seen it and I haven't seen The Whale.
Oh, okay. So you and I are opposites. I've seen The Whale. You haven't, and you've seen Iron Claw. I haven't. Okay. So you could talk about Iron Claw, and I could talk about The Whale. Do you want me to start, or do you want to start?
I'll start like cuz like I will defend Iron Claw to my last breath. Like
Okay,
that is
that's
one of the
valid.
most miserable, heartbreaking, I don't even care about anything anymore movies that's ever been filmed. It was the most like devastating. Like the group I watched it with, like there wasn't a dry eye at the end of the movie. Like
Yeah.
it was really, really, really good. It was a really good movie. And like you really feel like you know those brothers. Like
Yep.
you feel like they're your brothers. So at the end you feel like you just lost your brothers. And it's just like there's no coming back from the Iron Claw. Like if you ever watch it, just be ready because it really, I don't know, like the whale. I haven't seen the whale. I love Brendan Fraser. I love Brendan Fraser so much. Like I'm so happy this was like his comeback film, and that now he's in all these movies, and we're getting another Mummy. Like I just love, and he got done so dirty by Hollywood. He really did. Like he did not deserve what happened to him. And like first of all, what happened to him is a crime, and then the way he was treated is just despicable. So I'm so happy he's like back now, and this was like his big comeback role, and I'm sure he's amazing in it. But like Iron Claw is one of the best movies ever filmed because it is so devastating, and I know it really resonates like when you have grief. It was just amazing. Like it was just amazing. Like I will.
I like well executed sports movies. I think a lot of them
Mhm,
are conventional, but there is a lot more range in sports movies than people think. And this is based on a true story, which is what I hear makes it even more gut wrenching for people.
mhm,
Um, this story and people who were already familiar with the story going into it are like, "Oh, this is gonna be a hard one." That I knew they were talking about it and covering the movie. I love Zac Efron. I think he's underrated. I think he's a better
mhm.
actor than people give him credit for. And he's not just the High School Musical guy. I think eventually he's going to get credit the way Pattinson and Kristen Stewart do now. Or like
Absolutely.
the 50 Shades people are getting more credit now. I think he's going to get
Yeah.
that credit eventually. Um, I like the rest of the brothers. I know Jeremy Allen White, and then you were talking about Harris Dickinson earlier and Baby Girl not liking him there. Did you like him here?
Yes. Yeah, I did. I liked
And then
everybody in this movie.
Lily James is in it, and I feel like there's another one. Nicholas Holt, I think, is the one I'm forgetting. Yeah, Nicholas
Yeah.
Holt. Um,
It's just like as we're talking about it, I'm remembering more scenes, and I'm getting upset.
yeah,
Like
that's
I'm
valid.
starting to get upset.
Lily James is another one I think is underrated in Hollywood. There's some solid people in this movie for sure. The
Hmm.
Whale, I'm with you, is Brendan Fraser's comeback. Some people have issues with it. I thought it was really well executed. I was also bawling. This is a movie that had me
Hmm.
bawling at the end, and I remember just crying a lot at movies during that year. I
Hmm.
remember posting, I'm like, these are 5 movies I watched in the past couple months from the end of this year that made me cry a ton. And The Whale was on the list with a couple others. But this is Sadie Sink, my introduction
Hmm.
to Sadie Sink. I didn't watch Stranger Things.
Hmm.
So I was just like, she's good in it. Hong Chow is brilliant in it. And then there's other people in it too. And I just thought it was a really effective, like, small scale story since it's mostly set in one location, but it didn't feel like a play. Um, this is so tricky for me. I feel like we have to use Letterboxd for this one because it's like I can admit it's a flawed movie, and since some people don't like it as much, The Whale, um, but then I hear Ironclaw is underrated.
It is like it's what like what should have relaunched Zac Efron,
And it
and I
didn't.
don't.
Got
It
split
didn't,
again.
and I don't understand why. I don't understand why because like it deeply affected a lot of people. This movie.
3.7 for The Whale and 4.1 for Ironclaw. So I'm cool with giving
Okay.
Ironclaw some credit.
All
I
right.
think the one thing you have to say about The Whale is Darren Aronofsky is a beloved director. I like this movie more than other people, but for a lot of people, this is lower on his filmography. So I
Mm.
have to just admit, like, even though I think it's a brilliant movie and I think it's a great movie, some other people don't as much. So I'm cool with giving Iron Claw the edge. So far we have The Brutalist, Iron Claw. Ooh, oh my god. Sorry, I just saw the next movie, After
This
Sun
one
and
is so
Moonlight.
short. This
After
is a,
Sun. Oh my god, After Sun. Oh, brutal, brutal. In a different way. Uh, Paul Mescal. This
no.
is when I fell in love with Paul Mescal. He's the
I
dad in
so
this movie.
I need to look it up really quick. I haven't seen After Sun. I know what it is.
It's so
It's
good.
it's been a hot minute since I've seen it, but like this matchup is really easy for me. I think it's your turn though, so I'll wait.
It's such a good take on like just the childhood experience and like memory and going back on your childhood and how you perceive things as a child versus when you're an adult. You
Mm,
like you don't know the reality of what's going on, and it's like and then when you get to the end and you realize like what Paul Mescal is feeling and stuff and how he's just trying his best. It's just this is I love this movie. He this is again, this is I know I'm in the minority, but I think I'm giving the edge to After Sun over Moonlight since this is what made me fall in love with Paul Mescal. So it's like hard.
okay.
But Moonlight is undeniably iconic and influential. It's the first Best Picture winner for A24, and the structure of it, and the three parts, and watching that character grow. And Mahershala Ali, a lot of people talk about my personal favorite performances of the movie um, is I love Janelle Monáe, and then I love I think Naomi Harris. I thought she should have won the Oscar that year. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant in that movie. Yeah, I I know everyone talks about Mahershala, but those two women are amazing, and I don't think they get enough credit.
No,
Um,
they don't.
but this was a huge deal for queer cinema, having more just like showing like the experience of like a black gay man. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for me, like Moonlight wins this one. I think it's the best A24 movie.
Oh wow. Okay,
Or
so
at
this is your
least
favorite.
one of the best. Yeah, it's my favorite, or at least one of the best, just objectively. It's like hands down for me. Um, so like this round, like I think we'll need Letterboxd again. It's because it's just so beautiful. And I remember like it's unusual for me to watch something in one sitting. I often take breaks. I'm that person. I'm like a scene will happen and I'll be like, I need to process this, and then I'll like wash the dishes or whatever. But this one I sat down, I watched, and then it was over and I was just like I just felt like I was like just carried away on this dream and just being like so upset but about the things that happened in the movie, but also so hopeful and just being like, yeah, okay, like maybe even though like these things are so awful, you can still have space for softness and that hope and that like very tender connection that's there at the end, and the way like the actors still talk about the movie is very moving. Like the way they talk about the characters and like where they hope the characters are. It's like it's almost like it has a life like after the film. It's amazing. Like I'll definitely check out After Sun. I definitely will, but I think we'll need Letterboxd again.
I'm gonna say something crazy that's gonna shock you. Since I've been saying quietly while you've been talking for a bit because both of them are the same score on Letterboxd, 4.2. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. They're both
Can
the same
someone
score.
help us?
I think we have to
Please.
give Moonlight the edge because it is the Best Picture winner. It's super influential in A24's history, so I'm okay with giving it the edge.
Okay. I
Once I saw
understand.
the
That's
Letterboxd
very
score,
noble.
I was like, we have to just vote on what's the most influential, and that one it is undeniably.
Mm.
So I'm cool with Moonlight getting the edge. So yeah. So now we have. So we got the brutalist advancing, the whale advancing, after sun advancing in the emotional drama category. We have one last match there. The lobster
Wait, didn't
versus.
we have the Iron Claw
Oh yeah,
advancing?
Iron Claw, not the whale. Sorry.
No, no, you're good. You're
The
good.
brutalist, Iron Claw, Moonlight, and then the lobster versus Sing Sing.
I haven't
Okay.
seen either of these.
Oh, okay. I have a lot of thoughts. I think
Okay, I'm
The
ready.
Lobster is so miscategorized as an emotional drama. I think it should be in the high anxiety category. This is the movie that made me fall in love with Yorgos Lanthimos.
Oh,
It is such an. This is one of those movies that people are like, really? You love that movie? I can't believe it. Because a lot of people are like, watch The Lobster once, and they're like, I can never watch that movie ever again. And I'm like, I love this movie. I would gladly rewatch it again. And people are like, you're crazy. Like, you're actually crazy for voluntarily, like, admitting you would rewatch it again. And I'm like, Yorgos is such a messed up mind. This, and then lower on in the other category, we have, actually, we don't have it on this bracket. But another A24 movie that Yorgos did is Killing of the Sacred Deer. Both of those movies are so messed up. I'm like, both. This is like the messed up Yorgos movies. And then I know people love Poor Things. That's my least favorite, along with Kinds of Kindness. And then my two favorite Yorgos movies is Begonia and then The Favorite. And it's just, Yorgos is such a weirdo, and I just love him. And this is like, and a lot of Yorgos movies are divisive, and people are like, I hate that movie. And then like a lot of people are like, how can you like that movie? I can't believe that movie made me so uncomfortable. Or like, that movie was so weird. I can't believe you like it. But The Lobster, I remember, I don't know why, I just vibed with it. And like Colin Farrell, the general concept of like being a dystopia and being like, you're not allowed to be single and you have to get, and you're either turned into an animal or you have to like find a partner. And those are your only two choices. It's just like, and he's like, I'm going to choose to be a lobster. And then, which is why it's called The Lobster, Colin Farrell. And then he ends up meeting Rachel Weisz in the woods after running away from the place that he's supposed to turn into the animal. He's like, no, I don't want to turn into an animal. So, and then, yeah. So then he meets Rachel Weisz's character. And this movie is just so interesting. And what it says about the dating experience and, like, societal pressures to get, like, married by a certain time and not just like do things at your own pace and like hit certain life goals at a certain pace when you don't need to, rather than just doing your own thing. It's just it's a very clever, I guess it's a sci-fi movie because it is technically a dystopia. It's just very clever. I love this movie, but I know some people are like, you're crazy. But and then Sing Sing is just sorry, I almost cursed, but that's a gut punch. That movie is a gut punch, and I watched it in theaters, and I saw a Q&A afterwards with since they cast real incarcerated actors, and Coleman Domingo is so good in the movie, and he works with a lot of incarcerated actors, and one of the actors was at the Q&A, and his mom was in the audience, and I just bawled my eyes out. I was just like, on a human, I'm like, I don't know how you watch that movie, and none of it affects you at all, and like, to not just be like happy that this guy, since he said in the movie, he's like, oh, every day I would look out and imagine like seeing my mom and stuff, and like it would give me a sense of peace. I would look at the water, and then, like, his mom was in the audience and got to see him out and just like in this movie, and I was just like, this is just really beautiful. And I'm like, I'm tearing up right now just thinking about it. So it's like, I don't know how you don't root for this damn movie. I'm like, I'm like, I love The Lobster, but like Sing Sing is just such a beautiful human movie about art and like the importance of rehabilitation, and we need more of that in the world. Yeah, it's just so moving and beautiful. Yeah, that's my answer.
Sounds like Sing Sing then.
Yeah, I know people love Train Dreams. This one is the one that hit me more. I was just like, oh my god, since it's the same people. Yeah. You're kind of, okay, you're good. You were frozen.
Yeah, no, I just moved my tripod a bit.
So yeah, Sing Sing for me. And then, so in the emotional drama part of the bracket, we have The Brutalist, Ironclaw, Ironclaw, Moonlight, Sing Sing, Advancing. And this is the big feelings part of the bracket.
Okay.
We got Lady Bird versus Mid-90s. I haven't seen Mid-90s. I know Jonah Hill directed it. It was his directorial debut. And it's set in the 90s. It's a coming-of-age movie. But let's be honest. Lady Bird's the more influential movie. Greta Gerwig. This is Greta Gerwig, man. Like, I know she did Frances Ha technically and wrote that, but come on. This is, like, the beginning of her as a director. Just being a girl boss. Come on. There's more to say.
Greta Gerwig, Jonah Hill.
Later rounds. I know.
Yeah, no.
Come on. Lady
It's not
Bird.
even a contest. It's not even.
Okay. We'll talk
Yeah.
about it more in later rounds. Next up, we got Florida Project versus Everything Everywhere All at Once. Okay, this is really interesting. I have thoughts.
Yeah.
I have thoughts.
I tragically, I still have not seen the Florida Project, but I know it's really, really good and really visually distinct, and it's been on my watch list for so long. Everything Everywhere All at Once was such a big deal, though. And I love Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like, it was really good. They did all of the visual effects and After Effects, apparently, which is completely insane to me. I don't even understand, like, what is being said to me, that they did all of that in After Effects. And I just have so much respect for that. Um, this one, I don't know. I'm looking forward to your thoughts on this one.
I Sean Baker is my favorite director. The thing is, I know Everything Everywhere All at Once is the Best Picture winner along with Moonlight, and I know people really love this movie. I like it. I'm not saying it's not a good movie, but just as a Sean Baker fan, and he's one of my favorite directors. This is one of my favorite. This is my favorite movie of his. This is one of the best movies of all time. It's so brilliant. It's so raw. It's so human. It it's kind of similar to After Sun, where it just does a good job of showing you the childhood experience and just everything is bright and colorful in this universe and everything like since she uses her imagination a lot to make her life of poverty in Florida um, seem better than it is in actuality. And then you see a lot of like the adult stuff going on in the background, and you can kind of piece together what's going on based on that. This is Willem Dafoe getting to be soft. I'm like, this is yeah, this is this was a game changer at the time, since for a while Sean Baker wasn't nominated at all at the Oscars except for Willem Dafoe in this movie, and then eventually Honora was a juggernaut. I love this movie, so we're gonna have to go to Letterboxd for sure because
Honestly,
this is my movie. This is like my favorite A24 movie, and I know I'm in the minority on that. And like, I think last year, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I could be wrong. I think won the bracket when A24 let people vote on it. But like, I just no, Florida Project's my movie. I can't like go
I'm
against it.
comfortable with Florida Project advancing, like, personally.
Even
If
though
you
Everything
want to.
Everywhere was a game changer.
Yeah, no, I think, like, something like Florida Project will, like, it outlasts because it's so distinct to itself that, like, people will talk about it more. I think with stuff like this, like Everything Everywhere All at Once, is very popular. Like, most people know about it, but like a child's world in like a difficult environment is like more long lasting, I think, than the multiverse. Like this idea of the multiverse, which is about like regretting chances not taken and like appreciating what you have and like apologizing as a parent. Like, these are all very important things, but they're not like as unique, I feel like, as what the Florida Project, like the way the Florida Project communicates ideas, like
That's
there's more
interesting.
nuance.
Okay.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with that advancing here.
Okay. Okay. So we can do Florida Project and then Lady Bird Advancing, and then next up we have Eighth Grade and 20th Century Woman. I have not seen 20th Century Woman. I hear it's good. Annette Bening. Um, I think Greta Gerwig might be in this also. I could be wrong. Eighth Grade wins for me. I love Eighth Grade. Bo
Me
Burnham,
too.
brilliant, great coming of age movie. Yeah.
I haven't seen the other one, so I love Eighth Grade. I love Bo Burnham.
A
Like,
lot of people, it's their favorite
yeah,
movie dad ever. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, Eighth
No,
Grade
let's
for
go with
sure.
Eighth Grade.
And
Easy.
then we're gonna end round one in the big feelings bracket. So far we got Lady Bird
Oh,
advancing, Florida Project advancing, Eighth Grade advancing. We got I Saw the TV Glow versus Past Lives. Oh my God, your reaction right now! You're like,
I
I hate
take
this.
it back. This is the worst one. How are we gonna pick? Oh my god. This is the hardest one. This is the bad place. I genuinely don't know what to like. I literally don't know what to say. I this is bad.
I mean, Past Lives introduced us to Greta Lee and Celine Song as a director. You got John Magaro doing a great supporting performance. I unfortunately don't know the lead actor's name. He's good in it, and like you can't help for want him and Greta Lee to be together. But it's a great New York movie too. Great immigrant experience movie. Um, in using a love triangle as a metaphor for just the immigrant experience. Yeah. And then I saw the TV Glow. It's just existential. Unfortunately, it's a movie I have not finished because I watched it with someone who was like, this is too weird for me. I don't want to finish this. So I'm
You
going to let
gotta
you
finish
decide which
it.
is the two.
Oh no, no, I think we're gonna need Letterboxd because I love these so much. Like Past Lives is so beautiful and it's so lastingly sad. But it's also like it's just life is like that. Like life will if you think life won't do something like that to you, it absolutely will. And it's just it's such a beautiful movie. I saw the TV Glow. I almost want to give that the edge though, because that movie is amazing. That movie is absolutely Bridget Lundy Payne is
Well, Jack
so
Haven now.
under.
Jack Haven now.
Oh, Jack Haven.
Yeah. That's the
Oh,
new
thank you.
name.
I hadn't heard that. Jack
Yeah.
Haven, they are so underrated
I
and
agree. I
so
loved Atypical.
undervalued.
I
That's one
love
of my favorite shows of all time, Atypical.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Oh,
And then Justice Smith, he's grown on
yeah.
me. Initially I
Mhm.
wasn't a big fan of him, but then I've seen him in stuff like Now You See Me 3 and stuff, and I'm like, I like him. I'm like, okay, I like Justice Smith now. It took me
He's
a bit to
really
get on
good.
board.
He's
Um,
really good. Like, Jack Haven is not in enough stuff, and I need to
I'm
look
with
up
you.
any. Like,
Uh,
where.
Love
So
Brooklyn
good.
is like the last time I think I saw Jack Haven in
Mm.
such a split second. Um,
Yeah, we
yeah.
need more. We need more. That movie is amazing. Like that movie is on so many levels. So I need Letterbox.
Um,
I can't do this.
So I
I
saw the
just can't
TV
choose.
Glow. I saw the TV Glow rates it 3.5,
Okay.
and then we have Past Lives is a 4.2. So
Past
Past
lives it
Lives takes
is.
the edge. Past Lives takes the
I
edge.
there was no way I was making that choice on my own.
Yeah.
No.
So okay. So Ladybird's progressing, Florida Project's progressing, Eighth Grade's progressing, Past Lives. We're finally doing round two. This will be quicker, I think, since a lot of them we discussed in depth already. We got we're gonna go back to deep horror, so the left side of the bracket.
Okay.
Talk to Me versus Heretic. Okay, this is so easy for me. Talk to Me easily wins. I mean, oh wait, I mean The Witch. Sorry, The Witch versus Heretic. Sorry, my brain said Talk to
No.
Me. I mean, sorry. Round two, The Witch versus Heretic. This is easy regardless. Both of them are around the same score for me. I would rate it, but The Witch is more influential, undeniably, and like is yeah. Okay, so The Witch progresses, and then the other matchup for deep horror in round two would be Midsommar versus Pearl. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay,
I'm
this is
gonna
harder.
say Midsommar for me. I think it's Midsommar.
Ooh. Um. Ooh.
That's tough though.
I would do Pearl, so I think we're gonna have to do Letterbox. So Letterbox gives Midsommar a 3.7, and Pearl is a 3.7. Oh God. Okay. Um. You know
Oh,
what? Midsommar is more influential. There we go. There we go.
but
I'll
Pearl
give you.
is
So
would be a
Midsommar and
okay.
The Witch are progressing to round three in the deep horror
Okay.
part of the bracket. High Anxiety, we got round two, Red Rocket versus Uncut Gems. Um, yeah, I again, people might say I'm biased to Sean Baker. I'm Red Rocket. I'm like,
I'm okay with Uncut Gems, like with its journey ending here. I really am. Like I'm okay with Red Rocket progressing instead of Uncut Gems.
Red Rocket's so underrated. More people need to watch it.
That's the
Uh,
first thing I'm gonna watch after this podcast,
I
for
don't.
sure.
I don't know if it's what you're expecting it to be. To be honest, I'm gonna be
I'm in
honest.
for
And
an
you're gonna be like,
unexpected journey.
What is that?" I'm like, "You're gonna." Um, Red Rocket, I love. Yeah. But I feel like you might have some issues with Red Rockets, and some people had some issues with it, or you might like it as much as I do. But yeah, I Red Rocket for me, and then round
Okay,
two, we got Civil War versus Good Time. I think both of us are leaning Civil War
for
based
sure.
on
Yeah,
technicality. Okay,
yeah,
so Civil War beats Good Time, and then so Civil War and Red Rocket are going to round three in the high anxiety part of the bracket. Okay, this is where it gets tough. Emotional drama round two. We got The Brutalist versus Ironclaw. Um, you've seen both, so you could comment.
I feel like the Brutalist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm thinking the Brutalist.
So Brutalist is progressing to round three,
Yeah.
and then we have Moonlight and Sing Sing. Oh God,
Oh
Moonlight and Sing
God.
Sing.
I'm biased to Moonlight. I'm definitely biased. But
I'm biased to Sing
this
Sing.
is the Brutalist.
I'm 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 biased to Sing Sing. I think Sing Sing over Moonlight. I think not enough people watched it, but if enough people watched it, like if it came out the same time Moonlight did, I could see a world where it won Best Picture, honestly. So I think
Okay.
we have to do both for we have to use Letterboxd as a tiebreaker. So Sing Sing
Okay.
is 4.3 on Letterbox, and I think Moonlight, if I recall correctly, based on the earlier tiebreaker, is a 4.2. So,
If you I trust you. Like I will watch Sing Sing as soon as possible. And if you feel like it like offers the same and more and totally trust you. So if
it's
you
such
think
a
Sing Sing should
human, raw
advance,
movie. It's just like,
mm,
again, because you have like actual mass incarcerated guys, like
mm,
in real life playing incarcerated people, and like, again, like the arts and the beauty of it helping give people hope, and like when you could be just totally give up all hope altogether. And then Coleman's performance is just like an all timer in that movie. And then even the supporting actor Clarence Macklin, oh my god, it's just brilliant, 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 brilliant. So,
no, I
that's
trust you.
tough.
I'm pulling that up on my list now too. Like I totally trust you.
Sing Sing
If
is
I think we
brilliant.
should just have it advance.
Um, Big Feelings. Give me a second. Round two for Big Feelings. We got Ladybird versus Florida Project. So we could talk about the Ladybird for a bit, since we didn't talk about it too much in round one. Um, we just said it's the beginning of Greta Gerwig. We didn't do the full breakdown. We didn't talk about Saoirse Ronan being just so cool in this movie, and like I love her, and she's with her pink hair and her cast and the Catholic schoolgirl outfit.
And it also
Um,
has Laurie Metcalf in it, who
yep,
is like,
I
oh
love
my
her.
God. I am obsessed with Laurie
I love the
Metcalf.
supporting cast. This was kind of the beginning of like Lucas Hedges. He did this and
Yeah.
Manchester by the Sea around the same time, and then the beginning of Timothy Chalamet. I think this is like I mean, Interstellar was a lot of people's introduction, but like we didn't know his name back then. But like this movie
No.
put Timothy Chalamet on the map, and he's kind of just a bad boy in this movie, if I recall correctly. And
Mhm.
Lucas Hedges, you feel for him, and then you have the best friend of all time, Beanie Feldstein, And she's so good in this that Olivia Wilde's like, I need her in Booksmart. Like that's that's how good she is in this movie. And there's other people in the cast too. But the one thing I'll knock Lady Bird for, even though I love it, I love Lady Bird. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's one of my favorite coming of age movies. It's the beginning of Greta. I love the cast. The one thing that people knock it for is a lot of people are like, this is kind of the white version of Real Women Have Curves with America Ferrera, since I think
Mm,
she might live in Sacramento as well, and the mom dynamic is another part of the movie, and like her applying to colleges and stuff. So I think that's a big thing I have to knock the movie down for, unfortunately. And
that's
I, for
valid.
me, I give Florida Project the edge for that reason.
I'm with you on that. Like, that is valid in and of itself. And I also still think that Florida Project just has the edge.
Yeah.
But like, anytime that a movie is like feels enough like a ripoff of something that is more culturally significant, we have to be like, okay, like we have to take a pause here. So I'm on board with that for
Yeah.
sure.
So
Yeah,
Florida
Florida Project
Project
it is.
progresses to round three for Big Feelings, and then for round two we got Past Lives versus Eighth Grade. Um, oof.
That's a tough one. Again, I feel like anytime past lives comes up, I just get so upset. I become useless. Like I don't have anything to say. I can't even. I just shut down. I can't function.
I think that shows you the power of the movie.
Yeah,
I give the slight edge to Eighth Grade, but I know I'm in the minority on that. Um,
it's an excellent movie, though. Eighth grade is excellent.
we can do a letterbox for this if you, since it seems like you're leaning Past Lives, I'm leaning Eighth Grade. So 3.7 for Eighth Grade, and then I think Past Lives is way higher with the 4.3 or something, if I recall, or 4.2.
I
There it is. So Past
Yeah, I
Lives
think
wins.
okay. Whatever you want to do, like I am
Wait, were you
comfortable
gonna
with
vote
that.
Eighth Grade?
I could be persuaded to go eighth grade, to be honest. I really think I could, especially because like I love Bo Burnham so much. Like I was one of the people who, when Inside came out, I just completely crashed out. Like I was one of those people, and like I know he cast. You have to remind me the actress in eighth grade,
Elsie something. I think
Elsie
Elsie.
Fisher,
Yeah.
cast off YouTube, and it like doesn't get more authentic than
I was
casting
gonna
someone off
say, yeah.
YouTube at that
It's very
time, and
raw.
like
She feels like a real teen. I mean, a real middle schooler.
yeah. I could be persuaded to go eighth grade. I think it's more significant. As
I
much
think,
as I love
yeah.
past lives.
Okay, we can do eighth
Yeah.
grade. So eighth grade and Florida Project are progressing to round three in Big Feelings.
All
Um,
right.
we got Deep Horror. We're going to the left side of bracket again. Round three, we have, I believe it's The Witch
Mm-hmm.
versus, um, we were debating
Midsummer was.
Midsommar. Was
I think it
Midsommar
was
higher than
Midsummer.
Pearl? Oh yeah, since I think we said were they the same score? Midsommar and Pearl, and then
Oh God, what did we say? It
I think
was
they
the
were
same
both the
score.
same score. So then we did Midsommar because it's more influential. I think
Okay,
that's what I
right.
said. So Midsommar and The Witch for round three. Oh boy. Okay. Like,
This is we've really like we're putting ourselves through it with this. Um. Oh God. We have Florence Pugh versus Anya Taylor Joy.
oh my god, when you put it
We
that
have
way.
we have Eggers
when you,
versus Astor.
I know.
This is insane.
Okay, this is what I'm gonna say. I think technically you can make an argument Hereditary in maybe even Eddington are better movies than Midsommar, for me at least.
I see where you're going.
Whereas I think The Witch is my favorite Eggers movie, but some people prefer The Northman or The Lighthouse or Nosferatu more. So I don't know. It depends. Like, do
I
you
do
think it's the
think
best movie the director has ever done? Is the question, I guess. That kind of
I think
differentiates it for
so.
me.
Like I love the Northman. I love the Northman, but the protagonist isn't better than the protagonist in The Witch. The Witch protagonist is better. Um, and I love Nosferatu. I love Nosferatu, but it's not as iconic as The Witch. Like it's just not. So I do think that The Witch is his best movie. I can get behind that. I think this is the right line of reasoning to break the tie. So like I'm comfortable with The Witch winning here.
I will say both of them I feel like have subtext that goes over my head. I feel like there's subtext with like the Salem witch trial that goes over my head with the witch, and then there's subtext with Christianity. I know the boyfriend, his name is Christian, and it took me way too long to realize that Christian and Christianity. And then she's kind of rejecting that religion and like embracing what's going on in Midsommar. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think the witch. The witch. Yeah, I'm cool with giving the witch the edge. And then for round three in the high anxiety part of the bracket on the bottom left, we got Red Rocket versus Civil War. Okay. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh
I'm
God. Oh God.
biased
Oh
to
God.
Civil War.
That's valid. That's a
I
valid
have that
one.
bias.
I get that. Um, I'm okay. Here we go. Here we go. We're really okay. We're really getting into it. I think I can't believe I'm saying this. I think Red Rocket is technically the better movie,
Okay.
but if you're talking more meaningful, Civil War is more meaningful. And it's like, even though I personally rank Red Rocket higher than Civil War, I feel like I have to maybe put my bias aside. And it's either that or see what Letterboxd has to say for
However
both
you want to do
movies.
it, I trust you. Wouldn't it be funny if Red Rocket wins and I'm like, I gotta go watch Red Rocket?
Um, yeah, it hurts to say I'm voting for Red Rocket, even though I love
Okay.
Civil War. I think Red Rocket is a better movie, but Civil War has way more meaningful stuff to say, and there's so much more going on with it. But Letterbox has a 3.6 for Civil War, which is just because again there was so much bias against it of people saying it's too
Mm.
safe and this that, which is unfortunately a factor. And then um, Red Rocket is a 3.8, so I guess Red Rocket is advancing, which is crazy. um, okay, so then that's round Red Rockets advancing to round four, and then on the right side of the bracket, we're still in round three for emotional drama. We have, I think it's The Brutalist versus Sing Sing. Oh God, what? What? Sorry, let's just
Ugh. How did we do this?
give me
What
a
have we
second.
done?
Give me a second. Give me a second.
I'm like so nervous right now.
I okay. With, oh my God, I'm like I don't know how to compare Brutalist and Sing Sing because it's like Brutalist is like a very large scale epic movie that's very ambitious, and then Sing Sing is just so small scale and intimate and just human and just like visceral and just cuts you deep in your core. Oh my God,
It's
yeah
kind of the same reasoning that we used with Florida Project versus everything everywhere all at once. Like we chose the smaller scale, more intimate over kind of the best picture winner, you know?
but I don't know if we should do that here.
I'm
uh,
biased for the brutalist.
okay.
That's my bias. Until I've seen Sing Sing.
I think I can't choose between those two. It's like I know I need to because I said earlier it's the best immigrant movie of all time. But then my question is I haven't seen Shawshank Redemption. So that's a huge gap in my knowledge. So I'm like, is this the best prison movie of all time? I don't know.
Ah,
Or is Shawshank?
Shawshank is really good. If you watch it, I'd be really interested in your thoughts on Shawshank. It's different though. Like Shawshank is not it's not a real world prison scenario, at least compared to what I know of Sing Sing. Like in Shawshank, there's stuff that's going on that is not rooted in reality, like the real prison experience.
This choice is
So,
so tough that I'm kind of
yeah.
starting to dissociate because I can't choose
Me
between both
too.
movies.
Well, what does Letterboxd say?
um, Brutalist is like lower than you would expect. I think because it's a 3 hour movie and the second half makes people uncomfortable.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like I have to give the edge to the Brutalist. The more that I think about it, you know what? Not even Letterboxd. And something I said earlier was like the way we were talking about those performances. I feel like it's such a unique structure of a movie. Oh, but
Mm,
so is the mass incarceration and casting the real actors. Oh God. Okay. Anyways, but I think
this is a lot.
the performances. Wait, did both of these come out the same year, or am I crazy? Um,
Oh God, did they? I thought Sing Sing
Give me
came
a
out this
second.
year.
No, Sing Sing came out 2023.
Oh,
You know what?
what?
I might. This is like a subtle technicality, but I think when The Brutalist came out, it was like my favorite movie of that year. And when Sing Sing came out, I don't know if it was my favorite movie of that year.
Okay.
So I know I had to think on it for a bit, and I was kind of freezing up and like not saying much, kind of similar to you with Past Lives.
That
But
was a
like,
lot, yeah.
I might. I'm trying to figure out what my favorite movie of 2023 was. I would have to go at my letterbox list and see like what I ranked my favorite movie of 2020. Oh, I think I said the. Did I say the Barbie movie was my favorite of that year? I guess so.
That is valid.
Really? Okay, interesting. But I thought, is Sing Sing the wrong year? I'm like starting to. No, no, no. Okay, okay. No, 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 no. Sing and the Brutus were the same year. Since I thought I was crazy for saying they both were the same
Oh,
year. And I remember. So Sing Sing was my. Okay, this is actually a good way to distinguish it. Sing Sing was my number five of 2024.
okay.
And the Brutalist was my number one of 2024. It was tied with Wicked for me. So I think I'm going to go
Okay.
with the Brutalist just on that one small. I know it took me a second to like figure out in like my train of thought and like really decide, but I think the Brutalist in round three for emotional drama gets the edge over Sing Sing for me. And then we're moving
Okay.
on to Big Feelings, round three. Um, we have Florida Project versus eighth grade. Okay, Florida Project easily. I'm like, I don't even
Yeah.
think that's a contest.
Let's make
Yeah,
that easy for ourselves.
that one's easy. Okay, so left side of the bracket again. We're in round four. We're getting close to the
Okay.
end. Deep horror. Oh wait, actually, it's we got round four is deep horror versus high anxiety. So the winner of deep horror was The Witch, which is going
Yeah.
up against um,
Red Rocket.
Red Rocket. Um, I know you're Team The Witch. I'm Team Red Rocket, so I feel like we have to just Letterbox, man. Red Rocket is a 3.8, and The Witch on Letterbox, unless you have something else to say.
Mm-mm. I'll forever hold
is
my
a
peace on this one.
3.8. They're both tied on Letterboxd for the same rating. So that means, you know what? I'm going to give The Witch the edge because it's more
Okay.
influential. Since I've done that with some other movies when they're tied. Like Moonlight was tied with something, and I was like, you know what? Moonlight deserves the edge over After Sun since it's more influential. Midsommar deserves the edge over the other movie we made it go up against. I think it was Pearl because it's more influential. I think The Witch is more influential. I have to be objective with that. So The Witch will progress to the semi. I mean to the finals.
Okay.
To the finals. We're close to the finals now. And then the emotional drama, round 4
Is
winner is The
Brutalist and
Brutalist and Florida Project.
ooh,
Okay.
this is a lot emotionally. Like I am emotionally raw from this journey.
I feel like whatever wins this is gonna win the whole bracket for me. I'm gonna be honest. I'm like over.
I'm gonna agree with you on that.
Um. Yeah. I technically have a higher score for Florida Project than I do the Brutalist. So yeah, I'm gonna go
So it
Florida
sounds
Project.
so it's The Witch versus Florida Project.
Yeah. Unless wait, were you gonna vote for the Brutalist or Florida
I'll
Project?
go with Florida Project. I'll side with you on this one.
And then
So,
I'm Florida Project over the Witch, but that's just me for
me
this
too.
finals.
Me
Okay,
too.
so Florida Project is our current winner. However, of the bracket, there's a ton of movies that are not on the bracket because
Hmm.
this bracket was released in the beginning of 2025 for March Madness. A24 let people vote on it, and there's a ton of movies that are not on this bracket. So starting with 2013, I'm gonna name 2 movies. I'm gonna name a movie that came out this year that's not on the bracket. If you've seen any of them, let me know. Say your thoughts if you like the movie. And then the second part is gonna be, do you think it should beat Florida Project? Um, so we got um, so Bling Ring and Spectacular Now came out in 2013. That was the beginning of A24. Um, I always hear about the Bling Ring. I never saw it. And then Spectacular Now is Miles Teller and um, Shailene Woodley. Sorry, I was blanking out for a
Hmm.
second. So should so Bling Ring and Spectacular Now. Do you have any thoughts on those or no? Not
I
much.
don't. I haven't seen either one, and I feel like I would still pick Florida Project anyway.
Okay. So then 2014 we got Under the Skin and Tusk. Neither of them are on the bracket. No, you're like, doesn't even compare. 2015,
Hmm.
we got the Amy Winehouse doc Amy, and then Room with Brie Larson came out. That movie does not get enough credit nowadays. I feel like Room
Room
was a
is
game changer.
really good.
Brie Larson's amazing in that movie. She, for valid reasons, won the Best Actress Oscar that year. It's mostly in one place for a lot of the movie, and it's so engaging, her dynamic with Jacob Tremblay. And I'm in the minority of people who I would have gave that the Oscar that year over Spotlight and all the ones that it was up against. So I
Yeah,
really like the movie more than other people do, and I give it more credit. But the question is, Room or Florida Project?
I don't know.
Jeez, I haven't seen Room in so long, and I don't even think I was doing ratings back then when I saw that movie. But I loved
Mm.
it so much, and it touched my soul so much, and it was unlike anything I'd ever seen before. Whereas Florida Project, we were talking about it, and it's kind of similar to After Sun in some ways. So I feel like Room is more unique, and I know it's not on this bracket, but I'm like, I might give it the edge over Florida Project is the thing.
I don't know. Like, there's movies that aren't on this bracket that I totally want to bring up. I just don't know. Like, they didn't run the gauntlet that the Florida Project ran with us. So I almost feel like I want to stick with Florida Project just because of like all of the emotional labor that we went through, like weighing it against other movies. I
Yeah,
feel
and it
like,
it has a higher score on Letterboxd too by 1 point. Since Room is 4.0
yeah,
and then Florida Project's 4.1. So if we did that tiebreaker, it would still be Florida Project, like you're saying.
yeah, I feel like we should stick with that. Like, I'd like to do a version of this that has room on it, and then
It's
we can kind
crazy
of
they
stack it.
didn't put Room on this list. Like to me, that Climax movie should be off and Room should be on, or like some of these other movies that are not on this list at all. It's Room was like I think people forget how much of a game changer it was. It put like Brie Larson on the map. Like she had done movies before that, like Scott Pilgrim and other stuff, and like there's this random movie called Sleepover that I know nobody else remembers her for, but I remember her. But that was my introduction to her. But like was a child actress working for a bit in like Disney Channel movies and stuff. But Room really put her on the map. And unfortunately, because of
Yeah,
Captain Marvel now, people are like Brie Larson's a bad actress, and I'm like, because some people think she's miscast for that role, so they're like she's a bad actress since that's their only exposure to her. And I'm like, that's so not true. When you watch Room, that's like an all-timer performance. But
absolutely.
moving on to 2016, you have Green Room, Swiss Army Man, and American Honey came out. You're like, no. 2017, A Ghost Story, Killing of a Sacred Deer, Disaster Artist.
I
Um,
do love the Disaster Artist. Like, it's hilarious, but I wouldn't put it above Florida Project. But that was one of the movies I wished was on this chart. I love Disaster Artist. It's very, very funny. Um, but I wouldn't weigh it against Florida Project.
and then Killing of a Sacred Deer is kind of similar to Lobster, where it's a divisive movie, and then people are like, "Wow, you love that movie? You're crazy." Um, it's Colin Farrell once again. Nicole Kidman's great in it. Barry is probably the best performance of the movie, and if the lobster is eliminated, I think it's only fair to eliminate Killing of a Sacred Deer. So
Yeah.
that's how I feel about it. It's around the same score that I think I gave the lobster, honestly. So I'm just double checking. Yeah. Um. So then 2018, I really don't have any omissions from the bracket from 2018. Maybe there are, and I'm just not aware. 2019, we start to get a lot of movies, so I'm going to start listing a lot. We have Native Son, which is a book adaptation. I read that book in high school. Um, and Margaret Qualley's in it. Last Black Man to San Francisco. That was like the beginning of Jonathan Majors, for better or for worse. It's been a lot since then. And then The Farewell with Aquafina. I think Lulu Wang directed it. Waves. Ooh, there's a lot to say about that. That one is okay. I'm not gonna get into that until later. But and then In Fabric. Um, yeah, there's a couple movies. The Farewell and Waves I want to talk about. It, do you want me to talk about it first, or is there something you want to talk about
I haven't seen
this
any of
one?
those.
Okay, so The Farewell, I'll start with that one, since that's the one I'm not as attached to as much as Waves. Farewell, brilliant movie. Another one about the immigrant experience. I think a lot of people view Aquafina as annoying. She's not in this movie at all. Brilliant,
I love
serious performance
Aquafina.
from her. Um, I just and I love the family in this movie. They're so likable, and you're like the grandma and stuff, and like I just yeah. I'm like, this is such a good movie. Yeah. And then Waves just hit me in my gut in a way I didn't expect. It was like such a unique. I don't think it gets talked about in regards to A24 movies. Waves was just one of those movies. It's such a unique structure. Um, Without spoiling it, similar to The Brutalist, it's like a really well done family drama. And Sterling K. Brown is the dad, and Renee Ellis Goldsberry from Hamilton, who sings, is it Satisfied? No, not satisfied. She's the sister. Since there's
Yeah,
Elijah,
I
Peggy,
also know her.
Angelica.
She's Angelica, and I also know her from Co-op, the documentary Now episode, which is iconic.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
So
I love Renee Elise Pillsbury.
she's the mom in this movie, and she is so unbelievably underrated.
Mm.
But so is the rest of the cast of this movie. So it's more focused on the kids. You have Kelvin Harris Jr., who people probably know for Chevalier. He plays a composer in that movie, and then you have Taylor Russell is the sister, who people might know from Bones and all. Both of them are underrated actors. They're brilliant, 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 brilliant in this movie. And then the structure of this movie is super interesting. And you just go on a ride with this family, and it seems very simple. And then you get to a point in the movie where it goes in ways you don't expect it to, and it just hits you. It hits you like a freight truck. It's honestly should have been in the emotional drama or big feelings part of this bracket, because it just,
Okay.
with what this movie does, the performances, the structure is unique. It's unlike anything I've ever seen before, and I don't think it gets enough credit. I think I would put it on the same bar as like Florida Project, like in
Okay.
regards to brilliance. And I might give the edge to Waves over Florida Project the because both of them have great performances, but Waves is way more unique, and the structure is so interesting, and I have to give it credit for that. I think it's probably the
Okay.
most underrated movie in A24's filmography. So,
I'll
I
have to check it out, but I trust you if you feel like it has an edge.
um yeah, okay. So Waves is moving on, and then 2020 we have First Cow, Boy State, and On the Rocks. I haven't really seen any of those. I've
Me
heard of them, but I
neither.
haven't seen any of them. 2021, we have Saint Maud, Minari, Zola, the Val documentary about Val Kilmer, Green Knight, Come On with Joaquin Phoenix, and then Tragedy Macbeth, Denzel and Francis.
I love The Green Knight and I love Tragedy of Macbeth. Those are some of my top
So talk
A24
about
movies.
those two real quick.
I mean, Green Knight is so cool. Like, it's so beautiful to watch. I think the anthology stories that they chose on the journey were kind of interesting. They felt a little disjointed, but like the movie overall is so amazing and so beautiful to look at and has Dev Patel in it. So it's like, what else do you need at that point? But it's an excellent ending. The point of it is really good. And then Tragedy of Macbeth is just outstanding. Like, Denzel Washington did Shakespeare like in Much Ado About Nothing in I think the 90s, and Kenneth Branagh's Much Ado About Nothing. And everybody made fun of him, like in reviews of it. They're like, he's American, like he can't do Shakespeare. He slays the house down in Much Ado About Nothing doing Shakespeare in that role. He's outstanding, and he got none of the credit he deserves. And since, like, I know he did Othello, I think on Broadway. He's done a lot of Shakespeare on stage and screen, and then he did Tragedy of Macbeth, and now he's getting the credit that he deserves. Because like when Much Ado About Nothing came out, he was not getting any of the credit that he deserved. So like Tragedy of Macbeth is amazing. The production design is amazing. It feels like you're in like this isolated world the whole time. Everybody in it, the acting is outstanding. The sets are outstanding. It's just incredible. Like my only thing is, I love Frances McDormand, but I there were parts of the way they did Lady Macbeth that I didn't necessarily like.
Okay.
Um, but I get it. I get the direction. So it's amazing. It's amazing. It's so different from like Florida Project and now Waves. It's so like I couldn't even begin comparing it. Like it would have had to start out on the chart for
I
me. But I
think
love those two movies.
the one movie that I want to give a shout out from 2021 that A24 did is Minari.
Okay.
It's a cute family movie. again, it seems like the immigrant experience is a common theme with A24 among like coming of age movies and other stuff. But I love Stephen Yeun in this movie. I like the grandma in this movie. There's other people in the cast. It just you believe you fall in love with this family is the thing. But the movie doesn't hit you like a freight truck like Waves does. Waves is just like I feel like it's probably if I watch Iron Claw, I would probably be saying the same about Iron Claw as well. Yeah, it's Waves is just yeah, is just a lot. But I it doesn't compare to Waves for me. Minari, but
Okay.
it is a cute movie. Minari is very cute. Um, yeah, that's just my personal take on I don't know. You said I feel like you with both Tragedy Macbeth and with Disaster Artist, you said you like both movies, but you kind of like were also admitting like they're both flawed in like this or that sense. I feel like so. I feel like you're also leaning towards not. I want to be very clear. Minari's a great movie. Like a lot of these movies are great. It just like you're talking about like the top tier of movies ever. So it's just like it's tricky.
Yeah.
2022 I think is where we're at right now. You have give me a second. You have After Yang, X, Men, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, Bodies, 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 Causeway, White Noise, and Close. Any of those movies you want to talk about?
The only one, like we've kind of touched on some of these. The only one that I'd want to talk about is I liked After Yang. It was really good. It was really interesting, and that director also made a movie called Columbus. And that's one of my favorite movies ever made. It has John Cho, Haley Lou Richardson. It's just really, really, really good. It's sort of coming of age. It's like coming of age for Haley Lou Richardson, but not really. It's like she's like taking care of someone, so life kind of left her behind, and she has to make a decision about if she's going to try again in her life. And then John Cho has the opposite journey. Like he kind of left and now he's being called to come back to like take care of someone. And it's like they have opposite journeys and they kind of just pass each other. And it's just one of the best movies I've ever seen. And it like deeply affected me. After Yang, it wasn't as good as Columbus for me. Like it didn't move me that much, but he
Yeah.
still got me. There was a part of it where it still felt like a gut punch, and I was like, "You did it again, didn't you?" So I liked After Yang. The other movies I'm not too familiar with. I mean, I've heard of them and seen some of them, but that's the only one that stands out for me.
After Yang, I've seen X we talked about earlier when talking about
Yeah.
Pearl. I love that cast. Jenna Ortega, Mia Goff. I think it's Kid Cudi,
Mhm.
and then Brittany
It's really
Snow.
funny. It's
And
really
then
funny.
I like Mia Goff's performance in the movie because she's playing two people in that movie.
Yeah.
She's playing the younger girl and she's playing Pearl, the older
Yeah.
version of Pearl. So I think her performance is really good in that movie. The way it plays with like tropes of like like grindhouse movies of the 70s and stuff is very clever. There's kind of like a trashy quality to it, for lack of a better word.
Hmm.
Um, Men is Alex Garland. I feel like a lot of people's least favorite Alex Garland movie. I don't hate it, but it's also like it's not a perfect movie, and I can admit that. Bodies, 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 I love. I think it's clever, satirical horror comedy, making fun of just how dumb Gen Z is. In privilege, just making fun of privileged people in a really clever way. And I love that ensemble. A lot of them weren't big at the time, but they're bigger now. I like Amanda Stenberg in it. I like Maria Bakalova, who's great in The Apprentice. I thought she should have been nominated for that since Jeremy Strong and Sebastian Stan were not nominated for The Apprentice. And she's also in Borat 2 and Guardians of the Galaxy 3. She's really good in Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. I like Chase Wee Wonders, who now people know from The Studio and other stuff. She's very likable. And yeah, I like Mahala, I think is her name, who people know from Industry and she's done other projects as well. There's a Netflix movie I'm forgetting right now. And then you got Rachel Sennett. Yeah, Rachel Sennett's really good as a privileged person. I mean, they're all good as privileged Gen Z people in this movie. I just think it's a clever movie. It's great satire, and then Pete Davidson's even good in it. And his role, for better or for worse, is essential in a way to the movie. And Lee Pace is solid. This great
Lee
ensemble. And
Pace is the best.
I was lucky enough to attend a Q&A for this movie, and
Uh,
I saw Maria Bakalova and Mahala in person, and they took a photo with me. Most people for Q&As don't do that, so
wow.
they were nice enough to do that. I was like, and yeah, I'm rooting for all these people since all of them kind of blew up after this movie for valid reasons. And then Close, oh boy, Close, I didn't even realize was an A24 movie. This is like one of my favorite international films and queer films of all time. Brutal gut punch. Brutal. I used to play ice hockey, so it's just about like two boys who are close friends who get bullied for being close friends who play ice hockey. I love that movie, but it's a gut punch. Watching them get bullied for that, it's rough. Um, but I would still give Waves the edge over any of these movies. So that's my breakdown, real quick, for 2022. And then 2023, we got Showing Up, But Was Afraid, You Hurt My Feelings, Dix the Musical, Priscilla, All Dirt Roads Taste of Salt, Dream Scenario, and Zone of Interest. I feel like Priscilla and Zone of Interest are the ones I want to talk about, if any, real quick. Um, what about you?
I might need a short intermission.
Okay, I could talk while you go. Don't worry.
Okay.
Okay, so Priscilla is another one I was lucky enough to attend a Q&A, and I saw Kaylee Spaney and Sofia Coppola in person. Ironically, I mean, funnily enough, not ironically, they went, it was around the time the Eras Tour came out, so they went to go see the Eras Tour movie before the Q&A, which I thought was really funny. And that's when I realized Kaylee Spaney is a genius actress, because her arc in that movie of Priscilla, she there's so many different, she's one person, but there's so many different aspects of Priscilla that she's playing throughout, and she ages like in that movie, and it just it's crazy. Like the range in that movie that Kaylee Spaney showed, she should have been nominated for. And I personally think it's a better movie than Elvis, which I know is a hot take. Um, Besides that, Zone of Interest played with sound in a really good way, but I don't necessarily love the movie. It's a solid movie, but I don't love the movie. Great sound design, though, overall. And it's a decent movie. I don't necessarily love it, even though it was nominated for Best Picture. And Priscilla, I don't know if I would put Priscilla higher than Waves. Um, so that's kind of where I'm at with that. And I don't know if there's any movie here that Joyce would want to talk about real quick. But if there is, Joyce could let us know when she comes back. Hopefully she comes back quickly. Um, Otherwise, I'm just going to get into 2024. 2024, Problemista, Love Lies Bleeding, Janet Planet, Maxine, Front Room, A Different Man, We Live in Time, Queer, and Y2K. This is when I think A24 gets oversaturated. Since I think Y2K, Queer, We Live in Time, Front Room are all like decent, or like movies that are, I don't think are good. And yeah, this is when A24 is definitely getting saturated, oversaturated for sure. Um, we Live in Time, it's not that it's a bad movie. That one in particular, it's very standard. Like, paint by the numbers. It's not a Nicholas Sparks movie, but it feels like it could be technically. And then, I guess A Different Man is interesting. A Different Man's trying to do something interesting with Sebastian Stan and saying something interesting about people in the disability community with like disfigured faces and stuff. And Renate Reinsve is in this movie. So before she did Backrooms. So this movie is very interesting. Love Lies Bleeding is another interesting movie. I like Kristen Stewart in it and Ed Harris, and I want to say Dave Franco is in it, but I could be wrong, so I'm not gonna say that 100%. But but the best performance of the movie is Katie O'Brien for Love Lies Bleeding. But the question is, would I put any of those above Waves? I don't know about that. Especially when some of these I think are, I'm gonna say it. Some of these are like the weakest movies A24 has ever done, and yeah. So I'm still waiting for Joyce to come back. So I'm just gonna get into 2025. Um, On Becoming a Guinea Fowl, Opus, Death of the Unicorn, Warfare, Legend of Ochi, Friendship, Bring Her Back, Materialist, Sorry Baby, Eddington, Highest to Lowest, Naza 2, which is one of the highest grossing movies of all time worldwide, Smashing Machine, If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, Eternity, and Marty Supreme are all in this year. There's a lot to unpack here. On Becoming a Guinea Fowl is a very underrated international film that I really loved. Um, that says something interesting about the female experience, but it is going to be triggering for some people. I'll give Opus, I don't hate as much as other people. I think it's a really solid soundtrack. Death of the Unicorn, I just hate that movie. I don't like that movie. I know there's people out there that like it. I just do. I feel like they somehow made Jenna Ortega, Paul Rudd, and Tia Leone unlikable. I don't know how that's possible, but this movie managed to do it. And then Warfare is really solid. We talked about Alex Garland in depth. We talked about sound design in this and Civil War being great. What else? Oh, Bring Her Back is amazing. I was talking about, you know what? This might be on par with Waves actually, since Bring Her Back is a gut punch, and Bring Her Back was a movie. I love the Filippo Bros, but I actually think Bring Her Back it's a less fun movie than Talk to Me, but Bring Her Back might be better than Talk to Me. And I have to choose. It's choosing between Sally Hawkins is amazing, and the child performances in the movie are amazing. This is one of A24's best movies, in my opinion. Materialist, I don't think gets enough credit. I feel like people are a bit too harsh on it. I'm not gonna rant out about it too much. I kind of gave my in-depth rant of why I think it's a misunderstood movie in my New York conversation. I'll get back into that, but I'll let Joyce. I don't know if Joyce heard any of what I said about 2023 or 2024 at all.
I didn't hear 2024.
Okay, but 2023, were there any movies you wanted to talk about? Not really? Okay. And
Nah, that was it.
Or I said Problemista, Love Lies Bleeding, Janet Planet, Maxine, Front Room, A Different Man, We Live in Time, Queer, and Y2K. Any of those movies you want to talk about?
Yeah, the one I really want to talk about and that I wish was on the graph was Love Lies Bleeding. That is one of the best A24 movies made. Like, Love Lies Bleeding is outstanding. It, like, to say it's underrated, that doesn't even cut it for me. That movie is excellent. Absolutely excellent. With Kristen Stewart, a jacked Katie O'Brien. Like, they are amazing.
I was saying earlier, I think Katie O'Brien's amazing in that movie.
It's amazing. She's amazing. I love her. And every time she turns up in something now, I'm like, that's Katie O'Brien. She's amazing.
Unfortunately, getting typecast as the tough girl, and like Love Lies Bleeding is the movie that allowed her to show like a little bit more range than what she normally gets to play. And I feel like she's commented on interviews since that movie. She's like that she hasn't been able to really show as much range as she would like as she did in that movie, and I don't blame her for being annoyed, honestly. So that's what I will say. And then,
underrated. Yeah.
And then, okay, so 2025, I started talking about some of those movies. So, On Becoming a Guinea Fowl, Opus, Death of the Unicorn, Warfare, Legend of Ochi, Friendship, Bring Her Back, Materialist, Sorry Baby, Eddington, oh, Sorry Baby, Eddington, Highest to Lowest, Naza 2, Smashing Machine, If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, Eternity, and Marty Supreme. Any you want to talk about, since I know I listed a lot?
The two I really want to see, and I still haven't seen them, are Sorry Baby and Opus. I really want to see those two. The rest, I was kind of just like, okay. But like those two have been on my watch list for so long.
I was telling people earlier, I don't hate
Mm,
Sorry Baby. I mean, not Sorry Baby. I don't hate Opus as much as some other people do. I actually think it's a clever
mm,
satire, um, and just horror movie, and it has some interesting things to say about the music industry. And I like the cast of it, like Io and Juliette Lewis and John Malkovich. I like, and then the girl Amber Midthunder from Prey is in it.
mm.
She also uses an axe in that movie. Weirdly enough, she uses an axe in Prey, and then there's a moment where she uses an axe, and she's scary with it in Opus. Um, but yeah, so I was telling people earlier, I like that soundtrack, but like people don't like that movie as much as I do, and I know that's the case. The two movies on this list, well, some of them I kind of talked about a little bit. So I'll talk about some other ones real quick, and then I'll tell you the two that might actually compete with Waves. So Eddington, I thought was a clever satire. I really like that movie. It's not a horror movie like Hereditary and Midsummer for Ari Aster, but I do think it's a clever movie, and it's a wild ride, and it's an annoying movie, and it's part of why I like it. It's
Mm.
like purposely annoying. And then High to Lois is just a dumb remake. It should have just never been done. I want to root for Denzel and Spike Lee, and I think this is their like fourth or fifth collaboration, but it just, they're remaking Kurosawa, and I'm like, no. Um,
Mm-mm.
Neza 2, I never saw, but it's like, it was a huge movie in China. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. I really love that movie. It's a movie that makes a lot of people uncomfortable since it just shows the experience of being a mother in a really raw way, and it's so
Mm.
anxiety inducing, and you really feel for Rose Byrne in that movie. Her performance is amazing.
Yeah, it's
Community,
amazing.
I liked it. Cute movie, delightful, love triangle, but it's also kind of smart. But it's not as smart as like Defending Your Life, and but I do like the performances, like Callum Turner, Elizabeth Olsen, and Miles Teller. They're all great in it, and so is Divine Joy and Randolph in the supporting cast. Marty Supreme, I just don't like. I know a lot of
I
people
don't
love
like
it.
Marty Supreme.
I really do not like it. I'm
I
glad you're on the same
really,
boat.
I actively dislike it.
Me too.
Yeah, like I am a hater for Marty Supreme.
Me too.
That was not a good
That's one of
film.
my least favorite A24 movies. Along,
Yeah,
yeah,
that
I
was
think it
not
might be my
good.
least favorite. But yeah, I'm not a fan
Yeah.
of Marty Supreme. But so many people
Mm-mm.
ride for it, and I think it's crazy.
I don't understand it at
I'm
all.
not gonna
I
rant
just,
any further on
yeah.
it. But the two movies I think compete with Waves is Bring Her Back, since that's another
Mm,
gut punch movie where Sally Hawkins is amazing. She should have been nominated for it. The kids are amazing.
mm,
And Sorry Baby is a really solid movie as well. That's both, it's the tonal balance in that movie is really hard because it's covering serious subject material, but it has a really good sense of humor and it's surprisingly really funny. But I think I have to give the edge to Waves, even though both of those movies I just mentioned are really great. And then 2016, we got The Moment, we got Pillion, we got How to Make a Killing, Andre's an Idiot, Undertone, Marked by Sophia, The Drama, Mother Mary, Backrooms, Death of Robin Hood, The Invite, and Tony. Any of those movies you want to talk about real quick?
the only one I've seen this year is Backrooms.
Okay.
Um,
There's some
it
really
was
good
quite
movies in
good.
this lineup.
Yeah, I really liked Backrooms.
You can talk about Backrooms real quick.
Um, it was really well done. Like the crescendo was really nice. I definitely feel like it was setting up a sequel, so I'll be interested to see if that materializes. I don't know, but it was interesting. Like it wasn't what I expected. I don't know. I feel like I don't have anything more to say about Backrooms. It's just I was kind of like, yeah, that was cool,
I
and
will
then I was
say,
like, I literally
yeah,
don't know what else. Yeah.
I think it's not as original of a movie that people think it is, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I think some people knock it. I think it goes back to silent cinema, the concept
Mm,
of that's going on in that movie, without
yeah.
spoiling it too much. I think it's just I really like what that movie is doing. 2026. I don't know if I said 2026 or 2016. If I said 2016 by accident, I just realized that. Oh wow. Um, The Moment was a great movie. It's a great mockumentary, like Charlie XCX. I thought it was very clever, and just they even referenced boom clap at one point. It was just like they. I'm like it. So it wasn't
Like
just her
the
brat
moment.
stuff. It was just like it was. I thought it was a very clever mockumentary of like her figuring out how to navigate just capitalism. She's like capitalism is inevitable. I can either embrace it or let them let it absorb me. Like I can embrace it to some degree and do my own thing with it, or I can just change myself as a person drastically to for mass appeal and then lose my sense of morals. So I thought that was an interesting movie. Um,
Mm.
the Moment. There's some really good. How to Make a Killing. I wish was better. Undertone. I wish was better. Um, Mother Mary. I think is Anne Hathaway's best performance for sure. Um, I'm thinking. I'm like Tony. I just watched recently, and I like it. I think it's a solid biopic. Dominic Sessa and the rest of the cast is really good. Like Antonio Banderas is really good. Leo Woodall is really good. Amelia Clark is really good. Um, but there's certain movies that I think might beat Waves that are from this year. Like Pillion is amazing, and I think is one of the best rom coms of all time. It's like a really clever take. It's a gay BDSM rom com that's kind of like meets a British like Richard Curtis comedy. So it's kind of like Bridget Jones or Love Actually, but again meets like gay BDSM, and it's just a very clever movie that has a lot of smart things to say about relationships. Um, and I think that might be Waves for me. But then the drama is also unlike any movie I've ever experienced before, and it made me so uncomfortable. And it's one
Mm.
of the most uncomfortable movie experiences of the year, is the thing. And I think that might also beat Waves for me. And then Backrooms, I'm With You is one of the best movies of the year. That might beat Waves for me as well. And I, yeah, I'm like, The Invite, I'm a Booksmart fan, but I think The Invite is the better movie. That ensemble is amazing. Penelope Cruz, Olivia Wilde, Edward Norton, and Seth Rogen are all brilliant in the movie. It's so well written, and it's mostly in one location, and just so well done. All of them are great, and I watched it twice in theaters, and it's even better on rewatch. So I think I might vote Pillion or The Invite over Waves to win this. And I
Mm.
know it's people are going to say it's recency bias, but I think I might say The Invite is a better movie than Waves. I know that's crazy that I'm saying
Mm.
that, but a lot of people right now are saying the best movie of the year is between The Odyssey and The Invite.
I want to see the invite.
You
That's like
should,
I want to
yeah.
see that before yeah, I really want to see that one. I don't know, like to win this, like I'm kind of overwhelmed now by all of the movies. Like
I
I
know.
honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. Like these are all it's a lot. It's a lot of good movies, which is a good problem to have. But
Yeah,
like
we're
I
done now,
completely
but
don't
now,
know.
yeah, with 2026, we're done.
I
Um,
don't even know.
we're caught
Yeah.
up, but I'm kind of leaning towards I think The Invite should beat Waves, which I know is crazy, but I think it should. I think that would should be our winner. I know that's crazy.
Okay. No, I'm down for that. I love Olivia Wilde.
So, okay. So I know, yeah, we went through a wild ride. I know there was a lot of omissions that we went through, and it was very overwhelming. But yeah, we're done now.
Alrighty.
So I hope everyone had fun listening to Joyce and I discuss A24 movies. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, leave comments sharing your thoughts, especially on your favorites. If you'd like to see more content from me, I post short movie reviews on this YouTube channel. I know we went long. It's just there's too many omissions to not mention at all. Um, and yeah, so I post short movie reviews on this YouTube channel as well as TikTok and Instagram. And recently I did out of theater reactions for A24 movies like Tony and the Invite. And the next Red Carpet Talk live stream will be a fall and winter movie preview on Saturday. And please let me know what other topics you want to see me cover in the comments below. And Joyce, is there anything you want to plug real quick? I know that was a lot. And I feel like we always end up with the long episodes, and it's like
We do,
usually
because
I
it's so
can be
much.
shorter, but I feel like we're always trying to cover too much when we're together. Sorry about that.
And we could have gone longer. Like, we could have gone 4 times as long. Like, with all this stuff we had to, like, stop ourselves from talking about.
But yeah, is there
Yeah.
anything you want to plug real quick?
Sure. Yeah, I'm on Instagram at my name is Joyce Hills. I'm a filmmaker and actress, and I post my stuff there.
Okay. Yeah. What next time we'll do something. Joyce and I will probably try to cover Blade Runner 2049, the TV show, when it comes out, and cover both Blade Runner movies, Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049. And then we're gonna cover the TV show. I think we're trying to cover all episodes of Blade Runner 2099 ideally, but we don't know quite yet.
That would be
So
awesome.
in a couple months, that's something to look forward to. Hopefully we don't go over 2 hours that time. But bye everyone for now.
Bye bye.